Hello everyone, and welcome back to episode 4 of XCOM Enemy Within. Last time we awarded our very first medal, and to start off this episode, we are going to move into the officer training school to unlock Squad Size 1 and Rapid Recovery. Now, wet work would be another one that we want to unlock. Lead by example would be another one, but since we do not have any mainly psionic enemies at the moment, I do not believe it is necessary. Now, sadly, almost all of
Commander, we're in desperate need of additional troops. If we don't start recruiting new soldiers through the barracks soon, we're not going to win this fight.
Sadly, almost all of our soldiers of rank are wounded. However, as long as there's nothing that comes up within the next few days, we should be fine. Now, a handful of new rookies are going to arrive in 3 days. Alien containment is going to be completed in 6. So we start scanning. Alright, Alien Nav is complete. Satellite Nexus is now researchable. So I am going to go for a floater autopsy.
Although I'm sure you can make the connection yourself, we've designated this particular specimen as a floater. The research team is continuing in its efforts to determine how the aliens prevented the organic tissue from rejecting the mechanical components, as they seem to work in perfect harmony with one another.
Alright, with that said by Miss Valen, sorry about that, something fell off my desk. We return to scanning.
Excavation complete. Alien containment facility online.
Alright, alien containment facility is now complete, which means that we don't have enough money to do anything else. Satellite uplinks coming up. So training school is complete. Power generators should probably have been moved over to here, but it's whatever. Floater autopsy is complete, which gives us the dodge ability. Alright, with the completion of the alien containment, we can now get around to those interrogating the 2 aliens that we captured in last week's episode. Right, that will be done in 4 days, so we can go back to scanning.
Commander, we've got another contact. The signature is a little bigger this time, though.
Alright, this time we have a new alien signature. In hindsight, I should have equipped the other Raven with the Phoenix cannon, but there's nothing to do about that now.
Closing on target.
Alright, and with that, we take down our enemy. Okay, now we can assign loadouts. Gilbert is getting a, well, he should actually be getting some med kit. So we're going to take that off good old Murray and equip him with nanofiber. We are going to put the medkit instead on Gilbert, because he has Field Medic, which gives him 3 uses rather than 1. Alright, and on our Assault, we are going to equip the nanofiber vest on Murray, as he will be in the forefront of combat. Murray instead gets a scope, and Sebastian Simon gets the nanofiber. Alright, with Gilbert as our squad lead, we start the mission.
Prepare for deployment, Strike One.
Right, we should keep in mind that this is a medium-sized
The drop
UFO.
site for this operation will be in Canada.
We have only
Looks
ever
like the
faced
UFO went down in
small-scale
a
ones
densely
before.
populated-
Sadly, this landed in a city, but I think I know my way around this map, or at least remember. I have not played this game, but I have, in fact, watched through a playthrough by one Pete Complete. And if you in any way enjoy this, please be sure to check him out. I have no relation to him, I just think he's freaking awesome.
I'm on it, Commander.
Alright, we move Gilbert up to half cover, where he encounters a handful of floaters. Now, these things took out a fair few of our operatives' last mission, so let's try and make sure that doesn't happen. Gilbert opening up on the closest one with a 59 to hit, 10% to crit. Right, it only does 2 of the required 4 damage. So Sebastian moves up. We see that he only has a 30 or so % to hit, and we don't have any really good places to move him up to, so we're just gonna take the shot from here. Alright, predictably it misses, but that's no big deal. We're gonna have Miss Dawn Hamilton move up to here, swap over to her pistol, and Overwatch. Murray is, however, going to move up to that half cover right there, and take a 63 to finish off that floater. Alright, 4 damage. We probably should have focused on the other floater, but what can you do?
Going in for the kill.
Alright, we're gonna activate Running Gun. This may seem like a bit of an odd choice, but, well, I want to make sure we get this kill. So, 30% to hit, we Overwatch, because that floater's gonna have to move closer.
They're backing up. Advance.
Never mind, it appears as though it chooses to move back, causing reaction fire from our sniper way in the back. This, however, also attracts 2 sectoids, which is inconvenient, but they will be easily taken care of. Now, keep in mind, we also have an arc thrower on this mission, on our other assault, so we should at least attempt to take one of those floaters alive.
Rolling out.
We're gonna move Sebastian up top. We are going to move Miss Dawn Hamilton over to here, where she can then pistol Overwatch. We're gonna move Mr. Murray up to that piece of full cover right there, where he has a 63 to hit on that there sectoid. It hits with a 6 crit. A very good shot indeed. Now then, let's move
Position confirmed.
let's move our assault with the stun up to here where he overwatches. Oh, and it looks like we have more of those unknown enemies. Well, they're known to us, but I can't remember the names of them to save my life. Move up to there and Overwatch. And Mr. Sebastian moves up to there. And similarly overwatches. Miss Dawn does not have a shot, so I'm gonna attempt to move her up to there. Our assault also does not have a shot. I'm gonna move Mr. Jeff Murray over to here, where we seem to have lost that last sectoid. Our assault's gonna move up to here and Overwatch. Right, there's another group of aliens off in that direction.
Heading to that
Gonna
location.
move over here to pick up the smelt container,
In hand, Commander.
and move up to this half cover.
Headed there now.
Sebastian's gonna move over to here, and Overwatch. Miss Hamilton is going to move over to here, which sadly takes a dash action.
Will do.
Jeff Murray is going to move over to here, where he finds the alien, which sadly gets an Overwatch shot on him, taking 4 of his health. But what that does mean
Got it.
is that our assault right here can move in for a guaranteed kill.
Looks right down.
Alright, not only does it kill, it crits, and we earn our assault a promotion.
Hostiles pacified. Missed the target.
Right, we should also be careful because our
Heading there now.
stealthy opponents
Visual on the
are around here, and the melt canister has only 2 turns on it. Sadly, I believe we will miss that melt canister, but what can you do? Alright. Mr. Gilbert is going to take a shot on that floor right there. For 3, it hits and kills. Alright, we're not entirely given up on that melt canister yet, so Sebastian Simon is going to move up in an attempt to procure it. Alright, Jeff Murray is going to move up to full cover right there,
Oh, it's go time.
where he encounters these enemies here. Now, it is of course worth noting that the best way to take care of these enemies is with a group Overwatch.
Double time.
However, I too sadly believe that Sebastian might very well not survive this. Alright, sorry about that. Our sniper on the roof is going to Overwatch. Sebastian and the other assault are similarly going to Overwatch. Right, we find it. Take a reaction shot, which deals 3 damage. Sadly, not enough to kill. It strangles Mr. Sebastian, so our only choice is to take another 92% shot, which kills it and releases Sebastian. Now he's catching his breath, which means he is going to be very, very inaccurate. I believe our only real chance is to move over here, the name of those aliens, by the way, being Seeker. Going to move over here with Gilbert to hopefully use a medkit. We're going to move Sebastian up to here and Overwatch, as well as procuring that meld canister. Alright, an extra 20 meld off this mission.
Getting it done.
Don Hamilton's moving up to there. And pistol overwatching. Alright, Gilbert is going to heal up our other support. Sebastian's going to wait right here with the meld canister collected. We have no sort of time pressure to speak of, which means we can take our time to slowly move everybody up. Our other assault is going to reload his shotgun. Jeff Murray is going to reload his assault rifle, and he's going to overwatch, rather. Alright. It appears as though our second Seeker pops up as well. So Jeff Murray is going to come up right behind it and hit it for 100%. Hopefully taking it down to 1 health. However, it crits, which would usually be a happy occurrence, but I was kind of hoping on taking that thing alive. Doesn't really matter though, but either way, we now have nothing to worry about besides the outsider and whatever other aliens may be inside that ship. Okay, with that, I believe it might finally be safe to move Sebastian up on the next turn. For now, I'm going to just have him reload, which takes up his entire turn. Don Hamilton is going to Overwatch, and the alien turn begins. Right, so Mr. Gilbert is going to be sent dashing up into half cover right there. Where he does not find anything. As you can see, this medium-class vessel is almost twice or more the size of the small vessel we encountered in the last episode.
Solid copy.
And before that, as memory serves. Right, well, Don Hamilton's going to move up to there. Jeff Murray is going to dash up to almost the same spot as our second support, as Mr. Gilbert. And our other assault is going to move up to there. Part of me is tempted to rename that to something I could pronounce, but I have not thought of any good names at the moment. Right, the alien action passes with no action, so we are going to move everyone up into a position where they can fire on the next turn.
Locked and loaded.
Now, I'm pretty sure that the outsider is going to be right here, so let's all Overwatch and move up.
Moving out.
Quiet. Do you hear something?
Right, we open up the door, and it appears as though my initial belief about the outsider's location was wrong. So we move over here and open up the door
Positive enemy contact.
to aforementioned outsider. Now, because we have not yet managed to take one of these things alive, we're going to bring it down to 1 health, at which point, hopefully,
Hunt 'em down.
our other assault would be able to, capture this thing alive, but sadly he was not close enough.
Dodger.
So we're just gonna move up and place down a smoke grenade.
Smoke's up.
Which should hopefully make us harder to hit. And we're going to Overwatch with Mr. Simon and Mrs. Dawn. Or Miss Dawn, I suppose. And then end our turn there. Right. It looks like Mr. Murray is going to be very, very heavily wounded for the next count, so he's going to need some time on the bench, so to speak.
Excellent work. We begin analyzing this new artifact as soon as you return.
Luckily, we managed to stun the outsider and return to base. No casualties. Only some very, very painful injuries.
Is that all that's left of the specimen we attempted to capture?
Yes. I believe we may have found the source of the strange readings we picked up when we first encountered it.
What is it, Doctor?
We're not exactly sure.
It's organic in nature, yet highly magnetized, and it appears to resonate very faintly within a specific electromagnetic spectrum. It is currently unclear how or...
Perhaps that's because this is outside your field of expertise, Doctor. If what you're saying is true, this object is an antenna, one that's receiving a signal.
That signal. Can we trace it?
No, at least not yet. We would first need to determine its encryption algorithm.
My team can handle that.
In that case, I will focus on constructing an interface between this object and our global communications array, which we'll need to trace the signal.
Then it looks like researching this crystal should be our top priority.
Alright, Mr. Murray, who's gravely wounded, is going to be promoted. I'm going to give him Field Medic. And our Assault has been promoted as well. This is going to take some thought. Alright, our options are Tactical Sense, which confers +5 defense per enemy in sight, max of +20. So for every enemy, he is very much better dug in. And we also have Aggression, confers +10 crit for every enemy in sight, up to 3. So, for up to 3 enemies, he will get +10% to crit per each enemy. I am going to go with Tactical Sense, because while more damage would be nice, he's going to be seeing a lot of enemies, and the more he can protect himself, the longer this run will hopefully last. We also managed to get a intact plasma crystal, it would seem, from capturing our enemy. I am kind of curious about and not entirely sure about. Alright, it looks like we need to research it before we can just go equipping it willy-nilly to our soldiers. A bit of a shame, but very, but not the end of the world.
Commander, the Council is requesting your attention. Secure transmission coming in now.
Alright, we have another situation room. Friends in low places. I do believe this is part of the slingshot mission. And let's start it.
We are confident that you will handle this matter with discretion.
We have visual on the mission site. Setting down.
We're heading into China for the next operation.
You must be my contacts. No one who fears reprisal would make an entrance like that. Not so different from killing a man. It won't take long for them to realize I'm missing, especially since I've got this thing with me. If you take me with you, it's all yours.
That's our man. And it looks like he's got the package with him. We'll need to get him back to the extraction point in one piece. His former employers, not to mention the invaders, will be looking for him. Objective updated.
Righto. So we have a civilian in the
I'm
form
not sure
of
where my boss got this thing, but he was taking offers from a variety of bidders, regardless of their intentions.
So, Shoji Jang will join XCOM upon assuming we do not kill him off in this mission, which we will try our best not to do. His only option is to put his head down, which increases his defense. So, Mr. Sebastian is going to move up to this half cover, Overwatch. Mrs. Hamilton is going to move over to here. Bringing her may have been a mistake. We could have very easily subbed her out for a different rookie, because a sniper on a mission that is very, very, very escort-based is not an especially great idea. Right, our other Assault is going to move up to there. We're going to send Miss Hughes sprinting up to there. And Mr. Nick Fox is taking point. Given that he's a rookie, he is the most expendable, as sad as that is to say.
We've got a wave of X-rays closing on your location. Eyes up.
Target down.
Damn it.
Right, we have a handful of thin men in what would usually be very, very
delivering equipment to a predetermined drop point.
bad locations, but luckily they did not get to attack, so they're trapped. Miss Hughes is going to move up to full cover right here. And Overwatch. Mr. Nick Fox is going to move up to full cover right here.
Positive enemy contacts.
Where he finds another thin man, who moves into half cover despite full cover being right next to him. Right, we miss our shot, which is inconvenient, but not the end of the world, which is rather unfortunately starting to become the mantra of this series. We have a 68 to hit on the thin man because of Miss Hamilton's quad sight ability. Which she hits and destroys the thin man. Shoji Chang is going to move over there. Okay. Sebastian Simon is going to move over to here. And just as the first mission, or as the first round, he's going to Overwatch.
We've got an intermittent contact. It's something different from the others.
Right. I do believe there are multiple different things that could have dropped in right there. Sadly, what did drop in was a chrysalid. Kind of the mascot for this game, rather unfortunately.
Okay.
And, as anyone who's ever played either this or the original XCOM can know, they can be absolute squad killers. We will discuss their abilities in a brief moment. But for now, Jessica Hughes is going to move up to here to hopefully be able to take a shot at it.
Hope we had of establishing a clear pattern of behavior among the alien species. This specimen is nothing like the others.
Seems like they've got one of everything.
Will do.
They have one of everything.
Once I saw this device, I began to fear the implications of our involvement.
Now, this alien is sadly not here to spread love and peace, but and is also even more unfortunately outside of grenade range. So we're going to Overwatch because that is a melee alien, so he will inevitably move closer. Alright, Fox takes a reaction shot, which sadly misses, but that alien is now even closer to all of our operatives. Simon takes a shot, which sadly misses.
Shot wide.
Alright, so if we can't kill this thing this turn, it's going to start messing up our operatives. So let's do our best to kill it this turn, shall we? With a 100% shot on the chrysalid, all we can hope is for a good damage roll, which sadly we do not obtain. Alright, 100% to hit. We may as well. Every little bit helps. Alright, we're going to move our assault up to here. Or he could probably theoretically stun it, but I don't want to take that chance. Also, the shotgun is fucking effective. So we're going to move Miss Hughes up to here, where she overwatches. Mr. Fox is going to stay where he is, and Shoji is going to move up to here.
During my life, but now we all face a common enemy.
Enemy forces headed your way, Strike One. Get ready.
Luckily, all we encounter is two thin men, which I would rather not encounter, but it is much better than some of the alternative. Alright, both take reaction shots on Mr. Sebastian, but luckily both miss. Sadly, he has to reload before he can actually attack either one. So we can take a shot with Miss Hamilton on either the Thin Man or the Sectoid. However, I would rather this mission not go on for longer than it needs to. So let's just focus on killing both without the need for that. Alright, the Thin Man goes down to one well-placed shot on Miss Hughes. And since I'm not too picky about weapon fragments this mission, I'm just going to chuck a grenade at the other one.
Grenade out.
The grenade kills it, but also sets that car into a state where it is going to explode on either this or the next turn. Right. It looks like I misremembered the objective. I do not believe we need to get any of our operatives onto the evac zone, but I could very well be wrong about that, so either way, Mr. Shoji Chang is right next to the evac zone in case we, well, to evac, hopefully, next turn. Alright, that car exploded. Luckily, there was no one anywhere near it, so Mr. Zhang can move into the evac zone. Which ends the mission.
I am alive, but the life I had is gone now. Funny that my life should take such an unexpected path. Turning my back on old friends to defeat a common enemy.
The device and our contact are secure.
Alright, with that in our monologue, we complete the achievement New Friends. And we also complete the first mission of the of one of the DLCs.
An exemplary performance. Let's hope all of these operations go as smoothly as this one did.
Alright, with that line from Miss Valen, or Dr. Valen, we're going to promote Sebastian to give him a tactical sense as well. We're going to promote Miss Dawn to give her damn good ground, which gives her +10 and plus defense against enemies at lower elevation, in addition to any elevation bonuses she would normally get. We will most likely have build a sniper to be a gunslinger as well, but not at the moment. We're going close and personal means that the first standard shot within 4 tiles of the enemy will not cost an action, or we can get lightning reflexes, which I'm going to go for in case we need to push into a very large group of overwatched enemies. And luckily, Nick Frost is promoted to sniper. We also get another set of medals and new research. as well as 2 scientists and 2
Remember,
engineers.
we will be watching.
Okay, so with that, I think that getting another medkit would be very much advised.
The good doctors have completed their respective research into the meld substance. We should consider building either a genetics or cybernetics lab facility to take advantage of these new developments.
Alright, with that line from Central, we are going to continue scanning.
Breaking news at this hour. Reports from around the globe indicate a shift in the alien phenomena now affecting cities worldwide. We're now receiving word of outright attacks.
Looks like they've changed their tactics. But why? Why do this?
It's a message to the entire world that nothing can stop them.
Some of you may find this footage disturbing. We will provide continuing updates as this story unfolds.
And with that, our very first terror mission has started. No time to waste, so we gear up everybody. Miss Hughes, our support, gets a medkit. Well, she is not the most optimal support we have. She'll do. Sadly, all of our other operatives are hurt, so we start our very first terror mission.
Prepare for deployment, Strike One.
There's also an achievement for getting an A rank on a terror mission, which we're going to try and do.
We've
Now,
got
an A rank
reports
could
of
be,
alien activity taking place in a densely populated urban center.
An A rank could be awarded by not losing too many civvies to chrysalids. So let's attempt to do that.
Strike team is in position near the terror site. Awaiting confirmation.
Mr. Sebastian moves into full cover, first behind there,
Your highest priority is to
and
protect those
then
civilians.
that truck. Miss Hamilton similarly takes a position behind that truck. Miss Hughes moves over to there. Our support moves over to here. And Mr. Nick Fox dashes over to there.
Oh, it's go time.
Now then, we have our very first group of chrysalids. And as much as I would want to have a heavy on this mission, I have forgotten it. So, first attack against a chrysalid this mission, 100% hit, and a pretty decent damage roll, all things considered. Miss Hamilton moves over to pistol, and moves up onto the roof.
Location confirmed.
Miss Hughes has nowhere to move that she can get a shot this turn. Our assault, codenamed Hazard, has a 100% to hit on that chrysalid, which sadly does not kill it. However, Nick Fox is 100% to hit. All we need to do is do 1 damage, which should be incredibly easy. Alright, we do 1 damage, it's just enough to kill that chrysalid off. And Miss Hughes moves over to here, where she overwatches. it looks like that chrysalid runs away, but we should not take solace in that, because that only means that it kills a civvy. Right, so I'm going to move Mr. Sebastian over to here, where he can overwatch, because there's a neat quirk of chrysalids that whatever they kill becomes a zombie in a handful of turns, which can later become another chrysalid. So we want to try our best to avoid that as much as possible. We're also going to move we're also going to move Hazard over to here. Where he can overwatch. And we're going to move Miss Hughes over to here to, rather, unfortunately, act as bait.
As unprofessional as it sounds, the bite seems to have turned him into a zombie.
Right, and as Dr. Valen said, the chrysalids can turn into zombies. Which hopefully we will not see happen to any of our operatives, but, however, very much can happen. Okay, so we have a 100% to hit, 70% to crit. Let's hope for a crit. We do not get a crit, however, we do roll max damage, so it's not the end of the world. Miss Hamilton does not find any enemies over here, so
Roger that.
So Hazard is going to similarly move up and overwatch. Miss Hughes is going to move up to here, where she hopefully has a very good shot on that zombie. 100% to hit. Hopefully it will. Alright, 2 damage is done, which is very, very far from the required amount. Sadly, I do not believe there is a way to kill this thing without using a grenade, which is going to take some finagling, or to get just right, or not.
Throwing grenade.
Alright, we throw a grenade just right so that it only kills the zombie and does not hurt our operatives. Sectoid comes scurrying back out of the fog of war, only to retreat back into it. Alright, in order to get an A rank, we must lose no more than 6 civilians. We have lost 3 so far, so let's try to avoid losing any more. Not to mention, any civilian lost will come back as a zombie, which is very, very much not preferred. Okay, Miss Hamilton's going to move over to here to rescue this civilian and go on Overwatch. Now there's a civilian over there, which I believe will be the chrysalid's next target. So I'm going to send Miss Hughes dashing over there to hopefully find it. Which she does not. Nick Frost is going to move over there. I keep wanting to say Nick Frost, but sadly we do not have any Hollywood actors in our midst. Oh, and another civilian goes down, which ups the count to 5. Alright, I'm going to check out in here, because I think that's where that came from. But it does not look like we're going to get A rank on this mission, at least. At the very least, we rescue 3 civvies.
Get out of here.
So that, at least, is cause for a little bit of celebration.
I'm on it, Commander.
Mr. Sebastian's going to move over to here. running gun in order to get even further. Which puts him very worryingly right next to a chrysalid.
No rounds.
To which he only does 3 damage. As I've said, very, very far from the required amount. Alright. 2 possible damage. Sadly, we cannot shoot at this thing with our sniper rifle, so pistol is our only shot. The 100% to hit. It only does 1 damage, which is very unfortunate. But there's not much we can do about that. It is worth noting that if that chrysalid does hit, it will poison our assault. Not to mention the zombie being right there. Alright, it hits and almost kills our assault. Hopefully that zombie does not get a turn, or an attack on its first turn. Appears as though it does not. And simply meanders around. Alright, there goes our A rank, along with an extra 2 civilians. So we're going to move Mr. Sebastian over to here, where Miss Hughes can heal him for 4 HP, and if I remember correctly, yes, poison, or cure him of his poison. Alright, Miss Hamilton can also take a shot on that zombie, which has a 100% to crit, thanks to her, as of yet unused, headshot ability. Which, sadly, only does 1 over the usual amount.
Going in for the kill.
Alright. Hazard also dashes up in order to hopefully take care of this chrysalid. It's worth noting that this is not the last chrysalid on the map. This is only the first one. There are many more killing cities out there.
Reloaded.
Moving out. Enemies in sight.
Alright, looks like we have a group of floaters. Which will hopefully... have, sorry, it's I'm a bit scatterbrained at the moment, but we have a group of floaters dangerously close to our sniper. So I'm gonna move Miss Hughes up and try and put down a smoke grenade, lowering any of their odds to get hit. But it looks like we're at just the wrong angle, so we can't. We also have the sectoid pop back through, which sadly triggers a missed reaction fire from Miss Hughes. And the chrysalid heads indoors. Along with the zombie, which had spawned, having 4 health remaining. Nothing in a video, never do it. The floater takes a shot at her sniper, which luckily goes wide, and the other one kills a civilian. We are now very, very far away from our A rank, but there's nothing we can do about that now. Alright, given the fact that we have the same odds to hit with the headshot as a regular shot, let's go for the headshot. Which not only connects off for 50%, but kills the enemy floater instantly. Alright. Hazard's gonna move downstairs to possibly, which would be able to usually stun any other alien, but given the fact that it's a chrysalid, it won't. So, we simply shoot it. Which is unsurprisingly very effective. We also then have a 71 to hit on that floater, which we luckily hit. Alright, we move Mr. Sebastian over to here. to get a 100% on that zombie, which he hopefully will hit. Alright. Kills it. Miss Hughes also then dashes up to the rooftop.
Understood. Moving out.
Right, it looks like sadly yet another civilian has perished. Only this time I don't know why.
Position confirmed.
Alright, 11 civilians are dead, which means almost all of them are. We only managed to save 3, so the panic of this nation is going to skyrocket, and they very well might bail. They very well might back out of the XCOM project, which would be absolutely awful. But luckily, there's a satellite going up long before a council review, so we can hopefully negate some of the panic gained from this mission with that. Alright. It sounds like the other chrysalids in this area over here, which we wisely avoided up until now. Mr. Fox dashes up to there. I do not. And, Miss Hughes dashes up to full cover. I don't know why we're still using cover against melee-only enemies, but here we are. Miss Hamilton moves down to there. And that ends her turn. Alright, Mr. Simon taking up his position next to the door. Finds nothing, so he moves further in. Saves a civilian. However, not nearly enough to make up for the 11 lost.
Moving to designated coordinates.
Understood. Moving out.
Alright. And let's send Nick furthest in. Because at this point, I'm tired. Alright, looks like I was wrong, and the enemies are in the next zone over. And they kill off a civilian while we were mulling around.
I'm on it, Commander.
Let's use over to here. Where she cannot see. Killed him. So let's just keep on moving up. Move over to here and take an Overwatch action. We're also going to move Miss Dawn over to there. With this door, just to make sure there's nothing in there. Mr. Simon takes a Overwatch, and Nick Fox moves over to try and save this civilian. Where he gets, sadly, up close and personal with a group of floaters. Also ending her turn, which means he's going to be directly in the line of fire. It is worth noting, however, that we can actually capture these aliens, so I am going to make at least a bit of an effort to do so. It appears as though the other floater immediately went up. And we can't go up ourselves. But we can, however, get a visual on it. It is right on top of the car. We get 2 damage on it. Which means that, assuming we do not kill into this turn, we can theoretically take the live. I'm going to take a pistol shot with the hope that it either misses or does 1 damage. Alright, it misses, which would usually be very unfortunate, but given today is only mildly unfortunate. We're also going to throw down a smoke grenade, just to raise Mr. Fox's odds of survival. Alright. Luckily for us, he moves up, which makes him a prime target for being captured. 80% to hit. Fingers and toes crossed. Alright, we've done it, and the mission. Sadly, our rating is poor, but what can you do? Alright, Mr. Sebastian Simon sadly takes a heap of damage. We're going to give him a little personal. Miss Drifter can either get Disabling Shot, which allows the sniper to fire a shot, which causes the weapon to malfunction, or have Battle Scanner. I'm gonna go for Battle Scanner because it reveals the cloaked targets. Alright, could either get Flush or Rapid Fire. I'm gonna go for Rapid Fire, because I've not played with Flush very much, but Rapid Fire is very powerful, allowing us to take 2 shots with only a -15 to hit. Flush, however, allows us to fire a shot that will force the enemy out of cover. Great if we have a whole bunch of Overwatches set up, but I believe Rapid Fire is very more of an all-purpose type of tool. You're also gonna have Jessica Hughes get the Sprinter ability, and Nick Fox is going to get Snapshot. Alright, a Council Medal of Honor can be awarded, and a Marine Piper Service Cross, as well as an Urban Combat badge can be awarded.
Please give my thanks to the main commander. I know it can't be an easy task trying to bring them in alive. You can trust that the research team will make it worth the trouble.
We will be in touch, Commander.
Alright, given the fact that we have a large influx of money, we're going to build a genetics lab.
They're not just here for abductions. They have something else in mind.
We're going to build a genetics lab, and that is it. We could also build a cybernetics lab or a foundry, as well as a laboratory or a workshop. However, I'm not going to do this, not yet at least. But the satellite's going to be complete soon, as well as the satellite uplink. We may as well watch this cutscene real quick.
So, how'd it go, Doctor?
Better than expected. Before the creature expired, I was able to extract some new information from it.
You're saying that thing spoke to you?
Not precisely, but when you have access to a creature's brain, certain patterns can be discerned, recent images and thoughts.
And what exactly was our late friend thinking about?
This particular image appeared in the creature's thought patterns several times throughout the procedure.
We've already met that thing, Doctor. This is hardly the kind of breakthrough we were...
And there was a neural link in the creature's mind between this image and this one.
That's the thing that pulled a disappearing act when we shot down our first UFO. And let me guess, you want to poke around in its head too.
It is the next piece of the puzzle. And this time, instead of shooting it, I suggest we try to capture it alive.
If I'm not mistaken, that is an outsider, which we have, however, defeated. We could either research a outsider shard or beam weapons. We could also research a plasma pistol. I am going to research beam weapons.
I just don't understand. Why use such advanced technology against innocent civilians?
I'm sure the troops will be eager to get out there and even up the body count.
Alright. Luckily, no countries are backing out of the XCOM project quite yet. Once any of those bars get to full, they will back out on the next council review. Now, That's all the time we have. I hope you enjoyed. I've been Scavi, and I will see all of you lovely, lovely folk next time. Hope you enjoyed.